Good morning, beautiful people of planet Earth and all other interdimensional entities. Those of you bouncing off our radio waves across the ether into infinity, welcome to Titania's realm at Sacred Space. It's the 2nd of June 2024. I'm stuck on the carpeting again. And it's 9:41 a.m. and I'm alive. My chest is still a bit ragged, but the mullein tea has staved off any infection. I think it's pretty. Well, I'm not coughing up so much sludge, so there is that. It's amazing, the human body. It's a magical, synchronistic, synthesized, synergistic, holistic piece of machinery in the flesh, and a wonderful container for the soul if you don't taint it too much. Are you feeling me, babies? So actually, it's funny I just came out with that statement because I woke up thinking about my dead ex-lover, David Davidson, and I don't know why that memory popped into my head. I mean, he doesn't belong in my head, am I right? He's been dead for 8 years, and I didn't have any contact with him for 16 years prior to that. So why is that man entering my thoughts at all? It's not even a nice person, by the gods. But anyway, it popped into my head, so it must be important that I remembered that little salient fact. It popped into my head a memory of him sneering at me one time I was over at his place. And quote unquote, this, by the way, is another Jew born in Israel, Jewish man born in the Holy Land, saying to a woman who also happens to be Jewish, although he didn't recognize my status as a Jew because I'm Reformed Jewish convert. So there was a lot of bigotry going on there as well. But anyway, the motherfucker looked at me this particular evening. I'm sure he was dibbock ridden. I'm sure he was. He was also stoned a lot, to be fair. But he was a perfect vessel for any fucking low-level entity to have a ride on. Oh, and then I was brought into his existence quite willingly. I had no idea what I was getting into, of course. One never does when one falls in love, does one? It's always such a surprise. It's always such a surprise to see the true colours just slipping in and out of paradigms and reality like a tessellated patterning, freaking you out sometimes, watching the face, the mask be removed and the putrescence underneath come to the fore. I'm always so disappointed when that happens. I like to think of people as, by and large, good and kind, or at least reasonable. Anyway, Mofo who is actually dead. Well, I shouldn't laugh too loud because I only barely outlived him myself, actually. Here I am gasping for the air. But Mofo, who is dead, actually said to me this particular evening, he sneered at me and he said, "You're so pure." And I actually didn't know what he meant. I really didn't know what he meant. I did not consider myself pure at all, having been tainted in previous years by other hell-ridden entities. How can I be pure, I thought. What drugs is he on this time? What is he actually talking about? So I did my characteristic, which means, if you translate that into English, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, it occurred to me, my purity is not of a physical nature, but a spiritual nature. And is a force of reckoning if you dare to cross me when I have done you no harm, by the way. I mean, it's fair play if I've gone out of my way to damage you in some way, which I don't do. Very rarely do I have a pet hate against someone instinctively or instantly. But if I've gone out of my way to cross you when you were innocent and guileless and indeed pure, then it's fair play if the gods return the retribution to me to the power of 10, right? Am I right? However, I had actually done no harm to this man. So, as you sow, so shall you reap, babies. But I'm trying to figure out why that memory came back about me being pure. I mean, I have my own demons, darlings. I have my own taintedness and impurities foisted upon me from the age of 6. So it makes me wonder about a man who was desperately wanting to make sweet love to me, throwing in my face my level of purity. But it's come to my gnosis in in the last month or so. Now I've had 4 friends, all platonic. One was my psychiatrist, who I consider a friend because he's been a powerful ally to me, but he is my psychiatrist, so he said that in his professional capacity, not as a friend. You know, we've got to keep the lines kind of, clear because otherwise transference is a thing, people. But, 3 friends and my psychiatrist have all mentioned lately, that they acknowledge my power. One actually said, "I love your power. I wonder what that's supposed to really mean." I just nodded sweetly because a man who loves my power is the highest form of seduction there is, babies. He was probably just stirring me up, as men like to do from time to time. It's fair play, It's the game of love and drawing the lines of engagement in the sand. First they love your power, and after a while they try to take your power away. I hope that doesn't happen because I think this man's lovely. Be nice to have someone lovely in my life for a change after the fucking hell-ridden imps I had, 10 years ago and going back in time prior to that. So, yes, and then my beautiful, handsome, talented psychiatrist said he admires my power recently. And I'm thinking, what are they talking about, really? I don't do anything particularly powerful except show up, maintain my integrity, dance my dance, call upon the Holy One in all manifestations to protect my hobbit ass and protect those around me that I think need protection or extra love flowed their way. And maybe is that powerful? My communication with the holy ones, with gods, with angels, is that powerful? I don't know. Because I've always been that way. I don't see it as a power. I just see it as something innate that I've always done, even as a little child. Anyway, my beautiful Lynn, when I told her about my doctor saying that, concurred. She's always said that she felt I was powerful. I said, Lynn, there's nothing powerful about sitting all alone in your house, alone, no partner, no lover, no husband, no fucking nothing, alone in your house, in the middle of a fucking apocalypse, where everyone's lost their minds and seeded their souls a lot, by the way, out of ignorance or just stupidity or for the sake of convenience sake, without even questioning or thinking once, is this going to be good for my body autonomy? But Lynn said to me, she said, no, you are indeed powerful, Tanya. Well, I don't want it to go to my head, people. I didn't do anything special except do what I've always done, questioned abusers and dared to say no. Then I had this almost spiritual moment when my friend Margaret messaged me the other evening, when she too said, you are spiritually and intellectually powerful, Tanya. So the moral of that story is, I have 4 wonderful friends who believe in me and trust in me, and including my doctor, who fight for me daily and want me to heal my body, mind, spirit, and have longer continuance on this planet and actually probably use my power for the good of, my community, which is what you're supposed to do with power. Power is no good if you sit on a mountain all alone, isolated, and hoard it like a dragon on a hoard. And it's certainly no good if you corrupt it. Hence that level of purity that my former lover, David Davidson, utterly feared the most. My purity. Wow. 99.99999% gold, am I right? Spiritual gold, Kintsugi gold, ductating up my heart. Oh my goodness, it's a carapace thing now. It's got layers and layers and layers of shellac shell guarding it carefully. But anyway, I don't feel powerful sitting alone in my house on my own, isolated. I don't feel powerful spending Christmaka, not that I celebrate Christmas, but the holidays alone, except for my beautiful friend Jared, always comes to me at Boxing Day. Thank you, Jared. But I don't feel powerful not having a partner that adores me and values and cherishes and honours and respects me and is a wonderful lover as well. There's nothing powerful about being alone all the fucking time. There's nothing powerful about that. We are meant to be, as human beings, in our little tribe. We are meant to be in our little nuclear families at the very least, with a partner or our children, or, we're not meant to be on our own. But I had to choose that to keep myself safe, and I must have invested so much energy into that it may be that I will always be alone now. Anyway, no good whining about it. It is what it is. It really is what it truly is. But anyway, I just thought I'd have that little musing about what it means to be powerful and alone, and what it is that my friends and my doctor are really seeing in me. Possibly my metamorphosis into a new version of myself, a woman who is deeply loved and in union with someone who loves her as much as she loves him. Am I right? That's the dream, people. That's the dream. That's the pure, unadulterated, unfettered, undermined, unsabotaged dream. Anyway, I carry on with today's readings, taking my power, my purity, and my sense of humour and we begin reading, where is it? 2nd of June 2024. Happiness is an inside job, plus rabbitses. Here's me with my daughter's new bunny at the time, little Suki, who was a long-haired lop, a lop with a long, loppy, floppy down ears. Oh, and she really was a Suki too. She was a real snuggly one. Oh, I've got a high vibration in my right ear. Okay, Spirit, I can't talk to you right now. It's not appropriate to do downloads right now when I'm in the middle of a video. It's probably just a nervous system tweak. But anyway, here we are, my darlings. Here we are. Suki Violet with her newly adopted grandma, 2nd of June 2014. Oh, bless. That's 10 years ago now. 10 years ago. And yes, I was alone then too. But at least we went together, my daughter and I, to pick up little Suki. So it was lovely. I miss my daughter. What can I say? Second of June 2023. Just gonna close some tabs up here. Right, here we go. I am not feeling great, which is to be expected after all the drilling and injections to anaesthetise my teeth, which still hurt like hell as she had to drill so deep as the top one was so rotten. Oh dear goddess. I feel fraught just thinking about it. It's only 1 year ago. But my spirit feels recalibrated, revived. I have a chance at healing from the inside out. There's my power, babies. The power that I don't always recognize within myself is my stoicism. Maybe my teeth nerves needed that shock treatment. Maybe I am in denial. Who knows? I slept late into the morning, then got up and cleaned my fish pond filter and raked the thousands of dropped twigs from the golden rain tree. Autumn, winter is hard work in the garden, but it is done. I still need to drive to Bunnings as I ran out of butane gas for my soldering job, and I still need to go to Aldi to buy groceries. I can't be bothered with the groceries, but I need to eat healthier. Yes, I do. Life can and will go on. I am determined. Well, here I am, 1 year later, struggling a bit with my chest, but I am determined, people. And do you know why I'm determined? Because I've been loved, seen, witnessed, heard, protected and cared for by my psychiatrist, my urologist and my beautiful friends. I've seen how much I'm valued and cared for as a woman, as a human being and as a spirit. So who am I to blow against the wall and wanting to throw my life away into obliteration when so many have fought to keep me here, even against my own will at times. That's the reality, people. But I'm climbing out of the abyss I fell into recently. I'm climbing out of it. And this physical malaise is just a change of season kind of manifestation where I get sick, you know. I must say, let's have a look outside. I'll show you outside. It's a beautiful day outside today. It's a much happier day. Blue skies. I'm very lucky living in Brisbane, Australia, where most of the time we have lovely sunny skies. Imagine if I lived in England or Scotland with all that grey and cold and mist and fog. Oh dear goddess. But mind you, they are the ancestral homelands, and my spirit does crave to visit there. I'd have to go in summer. I'd have to go in summer, people. I wouldn't cope in winter at all. Anyway, Mama T, powerful though she is still impoverished, so she's probably not going anywhere. But when I transition from this physical body, I will, as long as the Holy One permits it, I will travel. I will see everything upon this earth before I fully transition. It's a promise I've gifted to myself. I will see everything in all its glory in a nanosecond. Or that might be a bit overwhelming for a spirit that's just transitioning from physicality into, hyperdimension. So it's going to be a bit of a shock to the system. It is, I'm sure, for every soul that transitions, those first few days when you realise that you're no longer in a body and you have to navigate moving through space and time and without a body. It's going to be a bit weird, people. But I'm powerful and I've done it before and I'll do it again. Do you like how I think about the afterlife? It's quite sweet. I wonder if it's all a delusion though, and there's really nothing. Nah. I slept until 11 a.m. It was a rough night. Beauregard and I both had to get up to pee multiple times during the night. Exhausting. Oh, my beautiful boy. I didn't know it, but he had a travelling tumour on his bladder, so he was ill. My beautiful boy. I'm worried about his health too. He keeps scratching and biting his paws and the base of his tail. He doesn't have fleas or heartworm as I keep him medicated. So I worry it's liver damage from all the toxins I have to put on him to keep him free of fleas and ticks. Yeah, you think? Jesus. If I ever get another dog, I'll have to keep him completely, him or her, holistically treated because all those bloody poisons we put on our pets are killing them. Just killing all of us. They're killing us in a multi-pronged attack, telling us it's good for us. See also COVID, the bastards. 8 p.m. I just finished my very first sterling silver Celtic twist chain. I spent hours soldering the links together. It wasn't easy, but I was tenacious as ever. I even had to remake a few links as they melted. That was annoying. I'm tumbling the chain to polish it. So excited. I'm trying to decide if I'm going dancing this evening, but I probably should rest. Here's a photo of that lovely chain I made. I was very proud of that. I've made 2 now. Very proud of it. Very proud of it indeed. I didn't even know I could achieve things like that, so it's very exciting. Very exciting. Here's me wearing it with my opal that I completed and polished up. June 2nd, 2022. I got woken up from a very intense dream this morning about my former friend, Gail. In the dream, she was striving to reconcile with me and offering me presents of various silver items. Some were ancient silver coins, still in protective plastic cases. Her granddaughter had been happy to see me and preferred her cheek for a kiss from her Auntie Tanya. In the dream, she looked about 10 or 12, but in real life she would be 18 or 19 now. Actually, she would be in her early 20s. There was another child whom I did not recognize, who also was very excited to see me. I asked him if I knew him, and he replied that I knew him when he was a baby. He had very blonde hair and fine features, almost elven-like, and was well dressed. He looked about 5 years old. That would possibly be Baby Ryder, who I did know as a baby indeed. But anyway, it was a dream, and it might have been nonsensical too, as dreams often are. I thanked Gail for bringing her granddaughter to see me, but I did not want to renew our friendship, and although the gifts were indeed lovely, I cannot be bought and paid for, which she kind of had a habit of doing in a way, trying to buy me, which I find detestable when people do that. You know, give me a gift from a wholehearted love space, but not with a kind of a string attached or kind of a enslavement. I find that abhorrent. She retreated to the kitchen and bent her head and appeared to be silently crying. Just then a phone call woke me from the dream. It was Robin telling me that Elsa is going into a home. This evening I suddenly had a realization that today is Gail's birthday. So my subconscious mind, whilst I struggled to breathe during the night with very bad asthma, dredged up that imagery. Weird. Her birthday and the silver coins that are placed on one's eyes when one crosses the river Styx with the ferryman. Am I right? Kind of potent imagery there, especially given I was ill at the time. My subconscious is indeed powerful. At one point in the dream, I wondered if I had died, as the dream imagery was so clear it felt real, or like I was watching it on TV. The only thing that made me realize it was a dream was Talia's age. That and the kitchen was from my childhood home in Island Bay, Wellington, New Zealand. It's also strange, the location. My childhood home that I was never safe in, surrounded by sexual predators and their filthy fucking enablers. There is that. So I guess that is a composite of that dream, which makes perfect sense given the treachery of Gail and anyway, it is what it is. I want to sarcastically scream, happy fucking birthday. But I don't mean it in a heartfelt, loving way. So I contained it for a moment, but I've uttered it out, 'cause better out than in. Am I right? Express yourself. Don't repress yourself, babies. I am a bit devastated as my elderly friend Elsa is going into a home on Wednesday. I knew it would be the beginning of the end for her. I won't be permitted to visit her after that date due to my unvaxxed status. I hope that I'm well enough to visit her on Sunday so that I can see her before she migrates to the high care facility. Well, I wasn't, and I didn't get to see her for quite some months, which was grievous to my heart and soul, because I worried that the old lady would have thought that I'd abandoned her, which I promised her I would never abandon her. And then, through no fault of my own, she was indeed abandoned by me for months. I hope that I am well enough. Oh no, I read that, sorry. Honestly, her son and daughter-in-law are doing the right thing, as they have looked after her for 3 years, and it is no longer tenable. But nevertheless, knowing what I know about those waiting rooms of death, I feel distraught that it has come to this. Indeed. Indeed. And they did murder her at the end. 2 pain patches in one day, and then aspirated her. The bastards. But may she find rest and peace with the Ein Sof Or, my beautiful Elsa, my gorgeous one, my gorgeous girl. I love you wherever you are, my darling. Interestingly, she hasn't come to me in a dream or visited me, as a spirit, and that's probably a good sign that she is at peace, because I often have visitations or dreams of friends or family members that pass over. Here I continue to write. At last, my darling Johnny Depp has been vindicated. Now the world... Isn't it cute how I talk as if he actually knows me and he's actually my darling? Oh, the power of magical thinking and fantasy, and wow. But it's sweet, and I do admire him, and I knew from the beginning there was something wrong with that picture. I really did. And I'm a feminist. I normally align with the woman no matter what. But there was something wrong with that picture, and I was right, and he's been vindicated. Thank the gods. Now the world can move on from Sideshow Alley masquerades while our world burns, because I also felt that that was a giant distraction from what was really going on. All the media attention on that was kind of insane, really. But interesting. I mean, I did watch it too, but insane. To be clear, I defended him from the beginning of this nightmare, but I was forced into serious doubts on a famous feminist page by women convinced of his guilt. The same insane shills that peddled COVID vaccines like ordinary harlots, over which issue I decamped from that utter disgrace of humanity. Here's looking at you, Clementine Ford, and your cohorts, you animals. Yuck. They really were putrid. Yuck. I no longer waste my time on the Facebook pages of psychopaths, wherever or whomever they are. It's a backhanded gift from the COVID epoch, as I finally learnt discernment. Oh, we have a fire truck turn up here. I see no fire. What's going on? There's a man getting out with a weird shovel, and he's digging. What are they looking for? Fire hydrants. What are they running around on a Sunday with fucking... Oh, it's a bit bizarre, isn't it? Oh well. They're making sure that they're scraping away at wherever the... What are they scraping away at? I have an abhorrence to firemen. I used to have to fight them regularly. They used to come to my marital home and burn all the bush and cause me severe asthma and nearly fucking kill me. Oh, these lads are harmless. They're just scratching away and finding where all the drains are or whatever. Bizarro. Anyway, where were we? Johnny Depp, I salute you, and I'm glad to see this nightmare is over for you. Stay sober, stay proud, stay free of borderline psychopathic women. I too, coming from an awful childhood that I should not have survived, have a long history of attracting dangerous, vicious psychopaths to myself that almost killed me several times. So I have watched your case in earnest because I have walked in similar moccasins, excuse the cultural appropriation, without the fame, money, or decent and good lawyers like you had. By the gods, I was impressed with his lawyers. I'm a little envious of your legal team, as mine only served to financially rape me each and every time I sought justice. Evil it was. Yes, run along, little fireman. Run along with your weird rake. I despise authority figures, especially male authority figures. I wonder why. Complex PTSD. I'm triggered just seeing the fuckers. One day they might have to save me from a fire though, and then I'll be forever grateful. Not. Just do their job. Get on with their day. Move along. Nothing to see here. So where was I? So my heart is glad. I'm laughing because Gail, who we just mentioned, it's her birthday today, and I'm still fucking have residual fury to that entity, had a passion for firemen. So this would be her best day ever, having firemen turn up on her birthday. Oh, and here's me saying, fuck off, get away from my house, kind of thing. It's hilarious. Well, oh dear goddess, I'll be back. The mullein tea has things moving, people, moving up and out, which is not pleasant, and I didn't expect that to happen. So, anyway, so my heart is glad for you today, for Johnny Depp. My beautiful lad, my beautiful man, talented and interesting and quirky and wild and free. Stay wild and free as long as you can, Mr. Depp. Never let the bastards grind you down. Enjoy the rest of your life in peace. Let the scum drift away like effluent. They always do in time. It just shows you that no matter how rich and famous a person is, or no matter how poor and powerful and alone, we can all make terrible mistakes with our love life. Terrible mistakes. Although I hope and pray that the next time I fall deeply, greatly and joyously and in love, the next time that it's real and authentic and someone who chooses me too by their own heart, body, mind, spirit and soul. The soul belongs to God, of course, but you know what I mean. A true soulmate. Because anything less than that is a recipe for grief and disaster, and I've grieved enough, even over former friends. I don't want to live in that energy anymore. I want to be surrounded by loving, kind, noble, decent, powerful, supportive humans who value and cherish and adore and respect me. That's what I want. I'm sure Johnny Depp wants the same for himself too. Well, here I am, baby. You have to laugh. He doesn't go for fat, short hobbit women. You can guarantee on that. So I'm just joking. Besides, I have someone that in my mind's eye that I adore, and I'm just letting that fall into kind of equanimity and equilibrium, because it'll be another potential heartache since that person's not available, and I don't even know why, knowing that he's not available, we have both carried on this kind of pseudo love affair anyway. Is there something we know that we don't know? Who knows? But anyway, I'm pondering it all, and I'm trying to live from my heart instead of my intellect, because I can talk myself out of the most wonderful things because of my CPTSD. And trying to be heart-centered is also difficult for me, since my heart is a carapace, recreated, kintsugi'd by gold, magical, spiritual device. I don't think it's fit for human interactions. I think it's beyond human endeavour now. That sounds grandiose, I know, but it's gifted to me by the gods after decades of immense suffering. But when he said to me, I love your power, baby, I love yours too. I felt seen and heard and validated, and that was an immense gift, my darling. Truly was. I'm cold. This little cardigan's only got short sleeves, which is perfect for a woman with menopause. But it's actually cold in here this morning, by the gods. Anyway, where were we? Yes, 2nd of June, 2020, 1:11 a.m. Reviving my mojo. Thank you, angels. 2:11 p.m. Oh yes, because this was 2020 in June, in the midst of the COVID insanity, am I right? Oh, that was just loop the loop. I used to walk around the shopping centres with all the little arrows. Oh, you've all gone mad. You're all looped the fucking loop. I'm certain it was an alien-inspired invasion too. It still is. There's something not human about any of that. But anyway, here we go. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Eating Japanese curry in my car as no seating allowed anywhere sucks. But I am enjoying my life regardless. I bought 2 balls to replace the ones that Beauregard chewed up at Evie and Susie's house. They were a tad devastated. I also bought cute little unicorn erasers as an extra little surprise. Time to head back home. Garden City gave me the heebie-jeebies indeed. It's all very dystopian and weird. Grateful to not be sick though. I tell you what, even though they got rid of all the Perspex covers, well, some places still have it, and they got rid of all the little arrows, and they got rid of all the masking. Oh, that was insane too. Even though they got rid of all of that, it still feels fucking dystopian wherever I go. I don't live in your world. You live in mine, babies. But it's just so weird. The whole thing is so realist and weird. It took me 3 months to recover from the last flu, and long months, years even, of chronic asthma, and almost a year on the 25th since the surgery. Well, it's 5 years now. I still feel a bit disturbed by all of it and our current paradigm. But there are beautiful highlights, like the admiration of little children and my pets. Not so bad. Oh, while other people had wives or husbands or lovers or, to come home to and cuddle up with during that fucking awful, nightmarish, dystopian existence. All I had was my pets, and then one by one, they've all died off too, except for my little Charlie. I'm going to take Charlie out in the garden when I finish this video because it's a lovely day outside and we should sit in the sun. I might put Vicks on my chest and let the sun melt it into me, and it'll do me the power of good. Oh, here's a lovely photo of my beautiful Bo giving Mama big kisses. I miss his kisses. I miss his kisses. I want to cry when I think about it. Crying won't help me. He's in Valhalla waiting for Mama. Crying won't change one thing. But it's cleansing and purifying to cry, and I've cried oceans, babies. Titanic oceans. I've brought almost new universes into being from my crying over fucking misfits in the past. But Bobo was a worthy entity to cry over because he loved me greatly. He was a beautiful boy. 2nd of June 2019. Last night I had 2 long extended chats. One with Jared for about 2 hours, the other with Nigel for about 4 hours. Nigel, my soulful, beautiful friend in New Zealand, told me something quite wonderful. When I bemoaned the fact that I am older now and so tired and yet have so much to achieve, so feel despairing after a wasted life spent for decades on processing my traumas and drooling and shuffling as a mental patient on psych medications, he replied lovingly and with great compassion, "You don't have to achieve anything, Tanya. You have already achieved so much. You have helped so many people." For a moment, I was silent. Imagine me, speechless. Who have I helped? How have I helped? I've barely dragged my own ass through life. But then it came to me. Every time I stood up against all the odds and fought for myself, I helped someone. Someone who might have witnessed my courage and determination, who had yet to discover their voice or core strength, or to tap into their inner wisdom. There's a little Indian minor bird on the line. So sweet. Maybe someone I never met in person, but who witnessed me. Maybe that person went on to inspire others in their circle, or began the long journey to self-discovery and self-determination. I wrote determination, but I meant self-determination. But both are good. Being determined to reclaim yourself in the midst of a crisis is indeed a powerful thing and a force of nature. Maybe it was a ripple that gathered momentum, that began a new wave. Maybe it was a stone moving forces in a pool, finding direction as it plummeted to the bottom, and as the waters regained their former shape and balance, moulding around the shape at the bottom of the pond, making room, accommodating. And maybe algae grew on the still stone, and then tiny fish or yabbies came to feast on the algae, and then eels came, or herons diving to pluck up the fish, and so the circle of life continued in widening circular ways. So in my own small, insignificant way, I have helped people. Even if I did not know it and received no kudos or degrees or financial rewards, but I did my best to show up. Even when I was a zombified automaton living in the valley of the shadow of death. So thank you, Nigel. I needed to hear that. I have nothing to achieve, for it has already been done. I need only to watch the world awaken and stretch and yawn and face its problems in ever more creative and beautiful ways, and witness the blossoming of all my little seeds sown when I sat in my own horror and darkness. Greatness is a job that comes from living life one day at a time, and continuously showing up even in our brokenness and always tending to our garden, forests, watery depths, and highest mountains. Watching the clouds roll in during storms that are terrifying but scarifying, and which, as in all things in life, soon pass and allow the clarified, sweet sunshine to fill our hearts and minds and grow our crops. Thank you for the steadfast love, akin to Odysseus strapped to the mast, blindfolded as the sirens sang the sailors to their watery deaths. In my interminable grief and unrequited love, my blindfold, and in shutting my ears and mind to the trickster's song, I miraculously navigated through the underworld and came out on the other side. I learned to see without eyes and hear without ears. My own song. Sometimes the spirit song of my beloved. Just watching someone for a moment. Oh, I see. Which I've had to tune out as unrequited love is a trauma speciality that depleted me and cost me full joy and vibrancy, yet in a strange way became a gift and a blessing, for it forced me to love myself more and reclaim all that was deemed so unlovable and unworthy. Sometimes I hear the song of the earth as she roils and spins beneath my feet. The sound of silence is a delusion, as if you ever really listen, there is no silence. Only the blood rushing through your veins and the swirling sephirot in the great mind of God, for as above, so below. My achievements, l'chaim, to life, and a little dog named Beauregard, and some incredible, brave and magical friends. To you all, my beauties. I love you all. Okay, not you in the corner picking your nose and rolling your eyes and saying to yourself, Jesus, there she goes again. 'Cause you are one of the 106 friends that park on my page and never interact as you bear silent witness to my tragicomedic life, ya troll. I don't love your bored solipsisms, but I allow you, so that too is a kind of unconditional love. Blech. We all have the power of the X button, laughing my ass off. Just got an itchy nose. The power of the X button and an itchy nose just when I called out my trolley fake friends on Facebook for picking their nose. So there you go. Synchronicity, babies. I just planted, I need to have another drink, my throat is dry. I just planted one of my homegrown avocado saplings, which was no mean feat given it hurt my lungs and I had to sit down several times while digging the hole because I was blacking out actually. Duh! Mama T does strange things when she's ill. That is her power too, not giving in to illness at times. There will be avocados in 10 years for someone to enjoy, even if I might not live to see it. All good. I just hope the council workers don't mow over it. Oh, so it was on the verge. Well, anyway, that tree died. So no, there will be no avocados, because the avocado tree that is thriving on my side of the property, you need 2 trees to cross-pollinate. So there'll be a beautiful avocado tree that never sets fruit. Oh, like my dragon fruit that's useless too. Double, oh. But what can I say? The tree on my land is thriving and that little one, didn't make it. And I think it's because the mofo's ring barked it, by the way. That's probably why it didn't make it. And it would have been lovely. 2 cross-pollinating avocados would have been lovely. Just saying. Anyway, what can I say? I failed there through no fault of my own. 2nd of June 2018. The most frustrating thing about knitting is when I lose my knitting needle. The fairies have made off with my 3mm needle. Just one. I have cleaned the entire house and mopped under the couches, and nup, it has not been found. It is enough to send me troppo. I bet the minute I buy another set of 3mm needles, the missing one will show up. Arg! I should have gone dancing, but I was tired from epic decluttering and housework, so drank wine and watched Sense and Sensibility instead. Now no knitting can be done without that needle, so I might as well have a hot bath and go to bed. Some days or nights are just supernatural, supernal fucking sabotage. In brackets, my house is clean. My friend Tarina wrote, methinks the cats have a paw in this. That's why you stick the needles through the ball so they don't get separated. Winky face. 'Tis true. My friend Laura Martin wrote, I probably have an extra 3mm needle kicking around here somewhere. I could mail it to you from Canada and you might get it in 2 to 3 weeks. Winky face. I love how they all stir me up. Oh, sweetness. Still dreaming of living in Byron Bay. I posted this as my cover photo. It's a lovely photo taken in Byron Bay. Love, 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 love. Oh, here with my daughter. We had a lovely time. A really lovely time. Mama T, sitting under love, manifesting love, when really she was just in love with Byron Bay. Oh, dear goddess. Dear, dear goddess. 2nd of June 2017. I spent the day cleaning all my copper pots and ornaments. I even cleaned the sacred space sign, Mum's memorial sign, and Tristan's, my dead ginger Tom's, memorial sign. It took all day, and my hands are sore and black. A cut I had on my hand is inflamed from all the salt and vinegar seeping into it. But oh my, everything is shiny again. Outside, I have shiny new fences. It all looks lovely. What's cooking in the Tanya's kitchen? Why, nothing. But she has very clean, shiny pots. Yes, gaga, shiny pots. I've got this wonderful love energy just covering me like a kind of a mantle, like a kind of a, it's in my etheric body, it's just covering me. It's beautiful. It's like, some gorgeous man is thinking of me with genuine, authentic love right now. I can just feel it. It's like lovely. Pity it doesn't manifest in the real world though, in the 3D reality, and be actually with me, keeping me company, loving me for real, am I right? The spirits show me. Love is around me indeed. And I actually can feel that energy. I actually can identify it. But shh. Mama T has to keep some secrets for herself, babies. My neighbours are cranky that they weren't told the fence was being put up on their side. Bits jutting out, no poles on the bottom. So I gave them the email address to complain. I am satisfied with it on my property. I went round picking up all the bits of broken offcuts and steel, etc. It all looks very nice now. The dogs and hens are ecstatic to have the run of their entire garden back. Update 2nd of June 2022. I still feel that. Yes. Well, baby, I return the love to you too. I'm still finding roofing nails in my lawn and garden 5 years later. Awful. Fencing almost finished. Hallelujah. Second of June 2016. I had a lovely day today. Julie surprised me with a visit, so we went out for lunch and had fun looking at clothes in the Nepalese shop at Stone's Corner. I bought a tunic, so when I got home, I had a shower, put on my new top with leggings, then took a very frustrated dog to the dog park. He had a blast playing with all the dogs, and I made friends with a nice lady. We talked so long it got cold and dark, so she offered me a lift around the corner to my house. Another happy day in spite of my sneezy, fluey symptoms. You gotta laugh. I kind of liked it. It's very ethnic and zany. Very ethnic and zany. 2nd of June 2015. I slept until 2:35 p.m. Just got back from the chemist as I ran out of Cipramel, which is an antidepressant, another fucking drug that didn't work with me. Oh, I'm so grateful I'm off all those meds. 8 years free of psychotropic medications, darlings. That's probably why I am the way I am today, but I'm keeping mentally strong, even though I'm weird and quirky and the spirits are flowing love to me. I'm staying in my own body, mind and spirit and soul complex, living my best life, no matter what, no matter how, no matter who. I have a barking bronchitis. Yeah, see, every time this time of year, bam, can set the clock by me, which developed out of nowhere overnight, as this one did 3 days ago. Probably from the cold nights we had. Annoying. My chest is tight, so just as well I stocked up on Ventolin and Seretide last week. Did I mention I'm sick of being chronically sick? I hear you, baby girl. Another gift my abusive family handed to me. Fuck them. Glad they are dead or completely out of my life. Low life, scum, bastards. Now for a happy thought. The day is lovely, albeit nippy. The chickens are chooking around the garden. I got a lot of help from Lynn yesterday and Sunday, so I have my meds and feel loved and appreciated. My garden is looking lovely and it is a full moon tonight. Oh, I slept most of today and am tired again at 1 a.m. I hate when I am completely depleted of energy. Oh well, I will keep watching Coven until I get drowsy. Trust me to be watching a horror show when I'm sick and depleted of energy. Second of June 2014. Ramon's last cuddle as a single man bunny. That was my daughter's clown play update. Look how handsome he was. I chose him because he had that gothic like markings down his back, looking a bit like a skeleton, am I right? Yes, Mama T loves voodoo and magic and gothic type things. But he was a beautiful boy. Oh, I can still smell him. My beautiful boy, my grandson. I wish my daughter had begot the son and heir, as in hair, but a real human baby, for me to be a grandmother too. But I had to be grateful for the rabbits, but she then had to relinquish when she went to Europe. It's just awful beyond words. Road trip to Grafton. New addition to the family, imminent. Wiggles nose. Byron must move here. I must. If I ever get enough money by some miracle, it would take a lotto win, I guess, which is not likely to ever manifest babies. But if I were wealthy, I would live in Byron too. Why not? Almost ready to leave the rabbit sanctuary at Grafton. Our new girl is chosen. She is a lovely, docile lady, Lop. Photo to come. I showed you the photo earlier of me sitting with her, cuddling her. She was the anti-Ramon. Ramon was full of energy and lopping around everywhere being a bunny, and she was just very, very lazy and kind of cool. Today was exhausting, but we had a lovely day. We stopped at Byron Bay in the morning so we could have a coffee and chill out. I went for a paddle in the shallows and was loving the fresh air and the noise of the sea in my ears. I looked down and noticed a tiny rainbow lorikeet feather floating in the shallows in front of me. I smiled and picked it up, thinking, "Thank you, angels," and noticed another, even smaller feather floating nearby as well. 2 blessings. What year was that? Let me just scroll back. 2014. And here's the interesting thing. Our little Charlie came into my life in 2017. So I was blessed indeed with an actual living rainbow lorikeet. So I left the smaller feather so someone else might happen upon the strange gift on the surface of the gentle wavelets. When we got to the rabbit rescue sanctuary, Ramon got his surprise. A lady lop rabbit, Crystal is calling Suki Violet. I asked Kim if she would sell me a laying Chinese silkie, which she did. So I brought home 2 lovely blessings from Kim at Grafton. Kim told me that my little hen would probably be laying fertilized eggs as her rooster had been rather busy. So I will see if she sits on her eggs, and perhaps there will be some lovely chicks as well. I am finally home at Crystal's, having a nice cup of tea and watching the bunnies getting to know each other. Very cute. They really were cute, the 2 of them. I should have a wonderful, handsome, gorgeous man to be cute with too. Shouldn't I? Should I not? Yes, I should. Yes, my darlings. It's all very, very cute. Except, who wants a sick woman who's always sick? No one. But when I'm not sick, darlings, I'm dangerous. Just saying. We also met a lovely man on the beach at Byron, where we sat up on the grass. He came over to meet Ramon and chatted. He inspired me to think about moving to Byron, which was my dream when the girls were teenagers. I would hate to lose my security in my housing commission home, but I'm seriously thinking Byron would be a good place to be at this point of my life. Maybe when I'm done partying every weekend and ready to spend my days and nights on the beach. Very, very tempting. The only hiccup would be finding cheap rent and the enormous risk of homelessness, am I right? Since I'm on a disability pension and I can't transfer there from Queensland to New South Wales, I would have to be on a waiting list for housing there, and that could take years, and in the meantime I'd have to pay high rents. It's not possible. It's the impossible dream. And yet other people take risks and just turn up and find a way. So maybe, I'm on my own now. What have I actually got to lose? But being homeless on your own is a scary prospect. So now I sit here and live out my life until I eventually die. I guess that's the safest way to be. And I can go to Byron any time I like, provided I have enough petrol. If Crystal moves to Melbourne and I'm alone here, I might just throw caution to the wind and go back to living free by the sea. That is and was my true home, which is why I find Byron so soothing to my fiery spirit. I think it is safe to assume, this is written a bit later, I think it is safe to assume that my grandson Ramon is in love. Oh! Miss Suki seems slightly less convinced, but she is allowing the courtship to continue at a hare's pace. Oh, you have to laugh. By tomorrow, they will be a bonded pair if Ramon has anything to do with it. I do hope his true love is requited. Smiley face. Oh, dear goddess, 10 years ago. Oh, well. I'm still waiting for my true love requited one too. Mama T, dear goddess. Anyway, here's some photos of my daughter's little Suki. She was my daughter's rabbit. My little granddaughter. And 2nd of June 2013. I have no wish to belong to any group that would have me as their member. Groucho Marx knew a thing or two about relinquishing your personal power and being hijacked by others' selfish motives, methinks. Every time I try to fit in or gain acceptance with any sort of group consciousness, it gets toxic very quickly, and I choose to fly my own flag, dance to my own tune, and dream my own dreams. I feel much safer that way, and life is much more serene. I'm still picking up a powerful vibe, but this time it's not the romantic one soaking me in love. It's someone else thinking about me. Now I wonder who that could be. Maybe I should go out. I need to get out of my house instead of picking up fucking vibes. I need to live my best life. Maybe I should take a drive to Bribie Island and sit by the sea. Except it's a bit cold. I don't enjoy going to the sea in winter. But maybe I should. I've been housebound for too long. I live by my own authenticity, and I am either loved or vilified for it. So to the haters, I say a perfunctory fuck off, and to the lovers, be true always. For you have shared my horrors and my few joyous moments with a pure and steadfast love and appreciation. The world is blessed to know you, and may we merit to meet and discover many more who out of fear have hidden their beautiful and holy lights under their bushels. Stand up and shine in your appointed times, my beloved ones. Live your light even in tawdry darkness. You are loved and you are seen. Amen. I went out last night and danced my poor old feet off. I had a lovely time. I met up with another young woman at the pub and her friends welcomed me into their group. I've been dancing with them regularly for a year now on nights out. They are all in their early 30s, so I was surprised they wanted to hang with this old chick. It was kind of them, as I was disappointed that Gail stood me up, as I had expected her and her friend Jenny to meet me there. That's another thing, she was really fucking rude, consistently used to let me down. I hate people like that. If you make an arrangement to meet someone, follow through, or at least have the decency to communicate that you've changed your mind or there's been a change in plans. It's just obnoxious and narcissistic and fucking evil, by the way. Here I write, I must not make arrangements with people who don't follow through. It stresses me out. I have way more fun doing my own thing and going with the flow. I often meet really interesting people that way. So if you wonder, those of you in the music scene who are watching my videos, why I always come alone and go alone, that's why. I can't stand being tied down with rude, unconscionable, ignorant, stupid people who have me waiting around, waiting for them, getting myself distressed when they had no intention of following through in the first place. So I prefer to be on my own. And as I say, I meet lovely people that way. Often very lovely people. So I'm never really alone anyway. Everywhere I go, I have my spirits and my angels with me. Am I right? I'm never alone. Very rarely do I feel lonely. When I feel lonely, it's usually because I'm like I am now, a bit sick and I get a bit maudlin then. But I can be very, very happy alone in a crowd, or I can be very, very happy alone, truly alone. It's a mindset, people. I find people that can't manage their lives alone, I find them very, very weak actually and a bit inept. Especially people that have to feed off others power because they're so weak and inept. I don't admire it. I can't respect it. It's why I am the way I am today. At Annie, I didn't ask Gail to come with me. I prefer to do my own thing. She invited herself with Jenny yesterday morning and said they would meet me in there as they were taking a taxi. So I was pissed off when they didn't show and stressed me out by waiting for them. I dislike adolescent power plays that women indulge in. So no, I didn't invite her. She invited herself, and I won't invite anyone else either. If you want to hang with me, you know where to find me, unless I change venues, which is unlikely, as I enjoy it there and am a creature of habit. In those days we were referring to Irish Murphys and or the casino, which all my friends knew. They wanted to hang out with me where I was every Friday and or Saturday night. So, anyway, that game played by Gail was really vile. And kind of, what year was that? 2013, right. The beginning of the end of our friendship. And I didn't end our friendship till February 2015. So I stuck by her for much longer, 15 years friendship, by the way, than she bloody well deserved. Unbelievable. But anyway, it is what it is. I don't do that anymore. I don't stay in toxic relationships anymore. 3 strikes, you're out, babies. I prefer to live my life alone than be with fucking degenerate, dishonouring, disrespectful, toxic, psychic vampirizing fucking animals. Had a long, long history of that. So I'm done. Absolutely done. And now, at this time of my life, 2024, I have beautiful friends that I see out in the scene at the Brooklyn Standard who are lovely to me, none of whom who have, tried to enter my home life or come into me in a more intimate, closer friendship, which I'm okay with. It's perfectly fine. The music scene with its superficial ways of you only see people within that framework, within that container. It's very superficial and very contained. I can move in and out of that world, by the way. And then I have my true friends who would move heaven and earth for me, including my psychiatrist, by the way, who truly do have my back and my front and my sides, who are in my private life that I see, in my home or at their homes, or in the case of my doctor at his clinic for my 2 weekly debrief. And that's safe therapeutic alliance, that container. And then I have friends online, that I've known for many years from Pal Talk days. So, I'm perfectly okay that I have people sort of compartmentalized and kept in their own little space. So it's kind of cute that I'm wanting a sexual partner to enter into my private life when they've made no effort to, ask me out on a date or actually merge into my world. So it's not going to happen, people. I know it's not going to happen. I just have to be circumspect and a bit bemused by it all and be aware that it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, then I'll be surprised and delighted and a bit astonished. But free will, people, free will has to be the right man who chooses me, because I can't deal with any more lackluster, weak, inept, vicious, life-threatening men like I had back in 2014. 10 years. 10 years it's taken to heal from all of that and even contemplate opening my heart out to another man again. 10 fucking years. And I don't have time at 59 years of age to indulge in another massive fucking going round in circles, going nowhere, unrequited at worst, or, unrequited at best, or at worst, another sadistic, cruel love affair. I literally don't have the breath left in my lungs to invest time or energy into it. So you, the one, whoever he is out there in the void and planet Earth, has to demonstrate to me your true heartfelt intentions by consistency, showing up, keeping up, and making a commitment to me, showing me you really are wanting something with me. It's because, otherwise it's just nonsensical. But as I say, I carefully nurture and preserve true friendships, because to me, true friendships have consistently shown me throughout my life to be more soul nourishing and more loving and protective than I ever had with a sexual partner. And that's my reality, people. One day I may find a true, loving male friend that becomes my lover and stays with me for the rest of my life. One day it could happen, but at this late stage of life, my darlings, I don't even dare really hope for that. I really don't, because I know how that often goes. But if you see me frottering and getting excited from time to time, it's because hope is kind of a seductive trope in my life too, and we all need that bit of delight and mischief and magic and sometimes powerful sexual energy to revivify our spirits. It's good for us, each individual human, above the age of consent and with mutual exclusivity and consent, by the way. It's good for us to feel that ecstasy and that bliss and that joy that comes from that pheromonal rush when you're falling in deep passion with someone. It's delightful and it's human and it's actually kind of normal. It's a shame I had to repress mine for 9 fucking years because of a monster. But anyway, it wasn't the first time I've repressed my sexuality. And now that I'm starting to blossom again, hopefully I won't have to repress it ever again if I gift it to the right man who's worthy of my love and my passion and my spirit and my intellect and my emotions. Maybe, just maybe, Mama T might get it right one day, one fine day. But I need to see the evidence. I can't live in delusions or fairyland or in false feckless, stymieing, sabotaging bullshit like I lived in before for decades, including my very, very unloving marriage. Anyway, that was a long time ago and I'm over it, but I'm just saying as an example. I know what I don't want. Someone confronted me recently during my dance and said, "What do you want, Tanya?" My sweetheart, my darling. What did I reply to him? You know what I want, baby. I want truest, deepest, most loyal, faithful, most devoted, most honouring love. Nothing more, nothing less. And I've got chills. They're multiplying. You have to laugh. I don't know why I've got chills, actually. It's spiritual. It's spiritual. Second of June, 2011. I am brilliant. I'm desirable. I am powerful. I am more than the sum of my crazy, fucked up, chocolate craving brain molecules which won't take no for an answer. I am slim. Well, that didn't manifest, babies, because of the theobromine chocolate addiction, am I right? But I am slim, attractive, and totally in control of my own life. I am free. I am wealthy. From all the money I save on not satisfying my chocolate addiction. Oh. I'm scintillatingly witty, bright, and unattainable. Lol. 2011. Those were my manifestations. Wow. Some of those have come true, except for the slim part and the wealthy part. But the rest, well done, baby girl. Oh my God. Unsatiated cravings lead to madness. This is still in 2011, people. Don't you hate it when you've emailed, read emails, Facebooked, jerked around doing nothing in cyberspace because you can? Your computer is back. Then, when all is said and done and dusted, little psychotropic clusters in your molecules in your brain decide that now, at some inappropriate hour, with no vehicle, those days I didn't have a car, it was between cars, you must have chocolate. Every molecule is screaming for chocolate, and you have none. That just sucks, man. It's 'cause I did my love psychic thing and got depressed, isn't it? Thank God I'm not addicted to anything harder than chocolate. Oh well, guess I'll drown my sorrows with a nice cup of antioxidant tea, which is so not as tasty as some antioxidant chocolate for my screaming internal molecular mechanism. Screaming memeism, a speciality in our family, means that my chocolate cravings make me crazy and internally berserk. But no chocolate means no calories, so no extra padding for the berserk, rampant molecular globulous mass posing as Tanya's brain. Damn it. And worse, much worse, no Coca-Cola for my precious bottle of Bacardi, which in desperation a few days ago I supped with orange juice and tried to pretend it was pina colada without the pineapple juice and coconut. It wasn't satisfactorily delusioning, but I guess a bit of alcohol did distract me from my fetish for chocolate. In a very, very tiny voice, so almost no one can hear me. And sex, 'cause that is off the menu. Laughing my ass off. 2011. Dear Goddess. Well, the times are a-changing, babies. The times are a-changing. The world is my oyster, but only if I have an internet connection and a working computer. It is so lonely out in the real world. I mean, you actually have to interface with three-dimensional humans, which is delightful if you are into that sort of thing. A huge thanks to Peter Sloan, who got me back online. That's my friend Lynn's husband, who's always been a champion about making sure I have a working computer. Thank you, Peter. The kisses are platonic kisses, by the way. Nothing sus. He would die if he knew I blew him kisses. But he's a true friend too. He's been very supportive of me. Him and his wife Lynn, particularly his wife Lynn, have been staunch supporters of me now since I came to this country. I arrived here on the 1st of August 1988, so what's that? 36 years almost. We're still in June, but in 2 months it'll be 36 years. And I met Lynn pushing her little kid, little baby in the pram with her middle child, Danny, beside her. And I was pushing, my 2 kids, and that's how we met. Must have been after we bought the house in Birkdale, which was around about October, November time. I can't even remember exactly, but I think that was when we bought it. And here we were pushing our prams, and that's how we met. And the irony is, her name is Lynn, right? We met pushing our children in prams. And then, many, many years ago, when I was only 4 years old, I was being pushed in a pram, as a toddler. I met my friend Lynn, who was 8 years old, and we fell instantly in love with each other, our 2 mothers meeting in the neighbourhood. And our connection was Lynn, who was 8, had bare feet, and little Tanya, who was 4, wanted to be barefoot too. So I instantly started tugging on my shoes to pull them off, which, was enough to get me spanked by my mother, because my mother had this weird thing about me being barefoot. She didn't like bare feet at all, probably because, it's life-threatening when it's winter time, and coming from Germany, it must have been part of the culture that you didn't go barefoot. Am I right? Nazi Germany. Oh, well, they did like the sound of stomping boots, didn't they? The bastards. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, I was fighting to get my little shoes off so I could be barefoot too, like my wild and free friend Lynn Robertson. But yes, the memory is both my Lyns came into my life when I myself was in a pram, or Lynn here in Brisbane, while we were both pushing our own prams. So it's kind of interesting, perambulating away as I do, my mind slip-sliding away, people. This is the joys of being on Tanya Aaron's Storyteller vlog. You never know where my mind's going to go. 2nd of June 2010. It was in the midst of the beginnings of the horrific will dispute. All the paperwork posted yesterday and nothing more to send to the lawyer. The rest is composting as we speak. All that filth from that filthy evil man. I won't even name it. It's of the calibre of the creature, a treacherous, low-life, scum bastard. We don't name them. They have no honour. So my work here is done, and I would just have to wait and see if any of my efforts come to fruition and produce financial benefits. Fingers crossed, and toes, eyes, and lots of hair twirling as well, which is a habit I have when I'm stressed. I twirl my hair. So Jared always pulls me up on it, but how is it harming anyone if I'm twirling my fucking hair? It's my hair. My hair will twirl. Just saying. Schmeh was crook for 36 hours, got better, then was so incredibly happy for another 2.5 days. Wow. And today, well, just Schmeh. That's meh with a SCH added to it, by the way. Yes, sometimes I make up my own words. Guess what goes up must come down. The great thing is I have had loads of fun with my loved ones, done heaps to the garden, and slowly sorting out my house. So, wait a minute, why was 2010 thrown on the end of 2011, which is correct chronological order, and then it jumps to the 1st of June 2020. Why is that tacked on? That's odd. Oh, I see what's happened. I've added the 1st of June to everything. All right, have to fix that. 1st of June should have its own page. Wow. Just saw the turkey going past. Yes, I read that out to you yesterday. The only thing is, I have the photo here of the massive big bruise on my back from when I got punched in Irish Murphys. And how did they respond, the filthy, treacherous dogs? They banned me, but not right away. Bruising and swelling coming out. This was 1st of June 2014. Not happy, Jan. I was more revolted by being spat in the face than the huge punch the fucker landed on my shoulder. Oh well, play with pigs in a trough. You were gonna get muddy. Indeed. Well, just seeing what else is here that I am. Right, that's all a bit odd, that. It's all a bit odd. It's mixed up with the current things. Well, I'll have to fix that. It's not good enough. It's not good enough, my darlings. Oh well. Right, okay. Well, here we go. Thus concludes today's readings of Even Date. I hope you got some insights or you enjoyed that in some meaningful way, and I hope it inspires you in some way, or I hope that, what do I hope for? World peace, prosperity for all, truest, deepest loves that are authentic and soul nourishing and body satiating and nurturing and kind. And did I mention world peace? World peace. And sunshine and happiness. And communion with the gods of your understanding and the ancestors that love you. Very, very important. Don't forget that part. And own your own magic. And yes, rabbits. Bye for now. Much love from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. And I have some serious editing to do here. I don't know why I didn't fix it before. Well, there you go. It's a good thing I read them out for YouTube so I can pick up on these things. Bye for now. Have a beautiful, bright, blessed day, and God's bless.